So this is the story about how I tried to raise awareness for mental health. It was an average day for me, so as I sat there trying to do my work, I kept thinking about what I could do to make a difference. So I cracked open a cold beer and started to think. That is when it came to me. My plan was simple. I was going to go stand in Lincoln High Street with a huge sign asking strangers to come share their stories and experiences with me in the hope that it will allow others to do the same. Oh, but wait, I'll come back to that bit. So my next step was to make a huge sign. I needed to get noticed if I wanted this to have any chance of working. So what better than a classic method like that? It was getting late now though, so I decided to take my sign and head home before the big day in town tomorrow. And maybe I made a quick trip to the pub on the way to steady me nerves. Anyway, I woke up the next day and headed off. I was so nervous about putting myself out there like this as I walked down, but I had to focus on why I was doing this. If people haven't had anyone to speak to about their struggles, then maybe this was their time. And if I could get just one person to speak out, then others who have struggled in silence and see this may be able to summon the courage to speak about it publicly. This could be a massive help, and people might start to realise that it is okay to not be okay. And hopefully we can leave this world a slightly better place than how we found it. Following on from that, I made it into town and this is what happened.
Chloe, I love you, you know I do.
Hi, my name's James Heath. With my beautiful wife here today. Suffered from anxiety, depression, and been with the crisis team in Lincoln and in Boston, suffering with suicide thoughts and all the things that go with like that. I've suffered since I was 17. I'm 41 today, so it's a good time to be speaking about it. I've overcome it all, and along with that, I've also overcome drinking drugs, prescription medication, and so on and so forth. And halfway through last month, competed in the Lincolnshire bodybuilding competition against a category. So it's okay to be not okay, and you can do it.
My name is Georgia, and I don't necessarily suffer with a mental health condition, but I do have a condition called polycystic ovary syndrome, and with that you can often develop some kind of mental health disorder, and with that I've kind of developed anxiety and the odds, well, hard to explain, but the onset of depression.
Hello, my name's Michael, and for 6 years I suffered from a mental condition called BDD.
And I suffer with depression and anxiety. So I'm absolutely feeling fine, and the next week I'm feeling god awful.
Which means body dysmorphic disorder. That basically means you have an extreme dislike towards your appearance and age.
My friends have been the most important thing to me, like trying to overcome my issues, especially with my anxiety. I almost dropped out of A-level and I almost didn't come to uni whatsoever because I just felt so bad in myself.
Start building up incorrect, negative associations with your appearance.
In the last few years I've felt my mental health deteriorating, and in the last week I started taking antidepressants.
I didn't have my support around me. If I didn't have private healthcare I probably wouldn't be here today. And there must be so many other people out there that are exactly the same situation. I feel really bad for them.
I suffered with PTSD, mental health. It's really important that you speak out. We have a tendency to repress our emotions, and we're not taught at school how to think, we're taught what to think. So it's very important that we get educated on this stuff. Speak out, go through avenues, any avenue you can to get the help that you need. Me personally, I went through neuro-linguistic programming to get the help, and obviously in society today, with the technological evolution so far advanced, we're so far removed from who we are, the separation, which is a big problem today. So I'm very passionate about mental health. I think it's something that everybody needs to do in terms of speaking out, being more connected to one another. Yeah, it's great what's your name? Jack. It's great what Jack's doing in terms of getting it out there, and I'm just a beacon, I'm just a light to speak and have a voice about this stuff. I came out publicly speaking about mental health issues recently, and I've continued to do the work. So anybody that is suffering with mental health, know that you can speak out. It's a brave thing to do, to be vulnerable, especially guys, step out of the masculine, go into the feminine, stop trying to be macho and have it all together. Men have been lied to. Big boys do cry, and it's good that we cry and be with our emotions. So, anybody that is struggling with mental health, like I say, speak to somebody. Speak to me.
I think I kind of just want to make sure that sometimes you don't have a mental health condition necessarily. It can actually spout off something else, and always want to make sure that you are checking your physical health as well as your mental health.
And now I give classes and lectures to help other people too. Thank you.
The people around you help a lot more than you think.
Pictures of my family, so it kind of makes me remember, that I'm loved and that people are there for me.
It's okay to be not okay, and you can do it.
Hello, my name is Lloyd Griffith, and it is time to talk about mental health. You're not alone, pick up the phone.
Government funding for mental health services is struggling to make a difference. In the UK, 1 in 4 adults will experience a mental illness at some point each year. 75% of young people with a mental health problem are not receiving treatment. Suicide is the leading killer of young people in the UK. 51% of people feel embarrassed about mental illness. But we can make a difference. Charities like Samaritans, Student Minds, Time to Change and Mind already are. We, as a collective, as a generation, are getting better at supporting people going through this, but there is still way more that we can and need to do. If someone has a cut, we would clean it and give them a plaster. If they're injured with a sprained ankle, we tell them to rest it, we give them ice and we help them. If someone is being sick, then we would take them to the doctor. But just because we can't see mental health issues, we ignore them. We don't ask if people are okay, and we don't offer the support that that person needs. But it's time we change that now before it's too late. We have the potential to save so many lives by simply asking people if they're okay. And despite modern technology and its social networks, we're all becoming more disconnected from each other, which is just helping to increase issues like this. All I'm asking is this. If you're someone who is watching this, and someone you know feels down, or they seem a bit off, then please talk to them. And if you're someone watching this who is struggling, then please summon the same courage that the people in this video have and talk about it. Please don't be afraid. It's okay to not be okay, and remember that you are not alone in feeling this way. I'd just like to quickly say a huge thank you to everyone who took part on the day and everyone who is in the video. Please comment, like and subscribe so we can continue to make more videos like this in the future.